Hey guys, welcome to A Seat at My Table. This is Chef Luis Sanchez, and today we're making this awesome salad. This is Lita. I don't know if the camera can catch her, but since she keeps wondering and wants to be on the shot, we're going to give her her 30 seconds or 2 hours of fame. And Lita, what are we making today? That's right, we're making... You have all this dirt on you. Anyways, we're making a persimmon salad with burrata cheese. Burrata cheese is this ingredient that I discovered at one of the restaurants I worked at, and it's fresh mozzarella that's been injected with cream. It's delicious. It's not that expensive, really, and we're making this fresh salad, but I want to show you the whole process. We're making the dressing. We're going over how to organize your kitchen so everything comes out at the same time, and it's great. I know that we're not far away from Valentine's Day, so this would make a great first course for a Valentine's Day date. Stay home and make an awesome dinner, and this could be a really good way to start the meal. So come and join me in the kitchen. I'm going to show you how to make a persimmon and burrata salad. See you guys soon. Welcome back to our kitchen. As I mentioned before, today we're going to make a salad. And why a salad? Because this salad happens to be delicious. And it's great and it's simple to make, and it's all about fresh, good ingredients. So since it is a simple recipe, I want to talk about a few things about cooking and kitchen and being organized, because when you're organized, then things happen so much easier and you have less of a chance to mess up. So we're going to talk about mise en place, which I've mentioned before in one of the episodes, which is French for everything in place, I think, literally. So everything in place in the case of a kitchen means you want to have your ingredients in front of you. A lot of times when we do dishes, because they're a little more complicated, we have things already cut up in front of us. So today we're going to go through the process of doing that, and we're also going to make a dressing. So this salad has very few ingredients, but it's great and it's good for this time of the year, and it takes advantage of ingredients that like persimmons that only happen a couple of months out of the year. So we're going to start by cutting our cucumber. This is an English cucumber. If you don't have an English cucumber and you can only get a hold of a regular cucumber, that's fine. What makes this different is that the skin is a little bit thinner, and the water content on an English cucumber is less than a regular cucumber. So that's our dog. Don't worry, we're going to keep rolling, and we're going to open the sliding door so our dog can do its business outside and or chase whatever she's barking at. So we're going to keep rolling because that's what we do. English cucumber, better than a regular cucumber, less water content, thinner skin. We don't need all these cucumbers, so I'm going to save some for tomorrow's lunches for the kids. So that is something else I wanted to start bringing up. So let us know what you want to watch. We have a good amount of followers now, so we're proud of that, and we're growing as a channel. So I make my kids lunches every day, and just like you do probably, you know, how many turkey and cheese sandwiches can you give your son or your daughter? So they actually last night mentioned, oh, we like cucumbers. I'm like, really? I've never seen you eat a cucumber, but that's cool. Sometimes somebody else has cucumbers, so tomorrow they're going to get some cucumbers, and that lunchbox better have no cucumbers left when that comes back in here. So we're going to cut our cucumber. You can do this a few ways. For this salad, I want to cube them. So I just kind of come down, and being a cucumber, there's seeds in the middle of this cucumber, and I want to keep the water content of this dish low. So as you saw, I just kind of cut in the middle, and we ended up with this, which is where a lot of the seeds are, which in the case of an English cucumber, they're like baby seeds, but we're going to put that on the side. What we do at the restaurant is with we infuse our water. So our customers come up and they want water. So we have regular water and we have cucumber water, and they think it's so special, which it is. And a lot of these fancy spas that you might go to, they also offer this cucumber water. So now we made batons, which is French for, I want to say baseball bats, but that's not right. So it's like sticks, I guess. So we're making little sticks, and then we're going to cut them into squares. So this time, like I mentioned, we're showing you the process of mise en place, which is having everything organized. So this is going to be much more cucumber than we need for the recipe, which is for 2, but I wanted to show you the process. So you want to have a good cutting board, a good knife that you're used to, and then, you know, the rocking motion of cutting something. So that should be more than good for what we're doing. We're going to put our cucumbers, our cubed cucumbers on the side. And then we're going to move into, We're going to move into the tomatoes. So we have grape tomatoes. If there's no grape tomatoes, if you have cherry tomatoes, if you have heirloom tomatoes, if you have Roma tomatoes, do not let, and I keep saying this, but it's true, do not let the fact that you don't have exactly what I have here stop you from cooking, because cooking is about adapting. So whatever you have, I just want you to cook seriously. I just want you to cook because it's such a cool process. It's such a cool thing to do. Remember, you sit with the family, you talk about life, and a lot of that happens around food. So there's one more thing to talk about, and there's one more chance to really connect with a family member that might enjoy either your cooking or the process of cooking, and then it's much more fun with two people. If I had somebody here, oh, you will be laughing right now, but there's nobody here, so it's just me. You're stuck with me. Maybe we'll get a guest here eventually, but that's the whole point of cooking. So we have our grape tomatoes in this episode, and I'm just going to cut them in half. And I cut them in half lengthwise instead of doing it, the other way. So you get longer pieces. And we're making one salad here. The recipe in the video calls for, or gives you ingredients for 2 salads, but we're just doing it for 1 salad here. So I'm going to cut more than we need, which we're probably going to end up using about 3 or 4 of these little tomatoes. So we have them here. Remember, we're doing the mise en place, everything in place. So we have our cucumbers, and then we have our tomatoes, and we have, actually the other way around, tomatoes, cucumbers, and then there's 2 cool ingredients in this salad. In this salad we're making, one of them is the persimmon, which looks like a weird pumpkin-looking, tomato-looking thing. And then they're available November, December, January, February, and then you want to feel them, and you want them to be a little bit soft. So even if they're not, though, they're still going to be sweet, because it's sort of like the thing that just happens a couple of months a year, and they're sort of good when they're available, and then you don't see them for another 8 months. So they're great just for snacking, but they're also great for salads. So what we're going to do is we're not going to cut it, we're not going to peel it at all. We're just going to cut the ends out of them. So this part I'm not going to use, and then I'm going to slice it thin for our salad. You want a nice sharp knife, and we're going to do little wheels or thin wheels of the persimmon. What does it taste like? It's sort of like a plummy, but it's sweeter than a plum. Like, I don't really know. I guess it tastes like a persimmon, Just taste it and you tell me what you think it tastes. But I just loved it. I thought it was always cool. It holds up. So if you buy it, it holds up out of the refrigerator for a good time. And it's kind of cool. It's cool to introduce your family members, your loved ones to ingredients that they are not too used to. So this is one of the chances in which you can do that. And you're doing it in a savory kind of application, which is great. So even when we got down to that last slice, see how I was a little more careful with my knife? You want to make sure that you don't cut your fingers. That's never pleasant. We have our slices of persimmon right here. And then the other ingredient I want to talk about, let me just get rid of this. Sorry for that big bang, that was the trash can. The other cool ingredient about this salad is called burrata cheese. So burrata cheese, if you're not familiar with it, like maybe a lot of us were not, it's much more common now, but it's not really like something that you find everywhere, but it's basically fresh mozzarella cheese, not the dry kind that we put in pizza, but the fresh kind that we see in salads, like a caprese salad, that in the process of making it, it was injected with cream. So when you cut into it, there's sort of going to be a surprising, very creamy, light filling on it. But it's not going to ooze out like, it's not going to be like when you poke a hole and it's going to drain all this water in it. It's just going to be like a very soft cheese with an even creamier inside of it. So that's what we have here. And that and the persimmons are the star of this salad. So when you buy it, it's going to come in a tub that looks a lot like this, and it's going to have this liquid, which is the water in which it sat for a while. And keep that water, do not get rid of it, because that's what keeps it fresh. Make sure that whenever you get in there and remove one to use, you make sure that your hands are clean, because your hands have bacteria, and if that water gets the wrong type of bacteria, then your cheese is going to go bad sooner. So we're going to set it on the side. I wanted to mention that because it's a little bit of a different ingredient, and then we're going to make our dressing. So we're making a basic balsamic vinaigrette. there is probably 1,000 people out there that can make this in different ways, and that's fine. I'm just going to show you my way to make it, and it's not going to be fully emulsified. It's not going to look completely thick like a mayonnaise would, but it's going to have some body to it. And the ingredients are very simple. I didn't want to go fancy. I just wanted you to know how to make a basic vinaigrette, in this case balsamic. So we're going to start with good old yellow mustard. I'm going to put the mustard on the bottom of the bowl. And then we're going to add our garlic in there. And our herbs. Today we have basil, dry basil, and we have some dry oregano. We're going to add a good pinch of salt and a good pinch of pepper. You can always adjust those towards the end. And then we're going to add a little pinch of sugar. So this is our daily sugar that we use for our coffee. And we're just going to go like literally, I don't know, maybe like a little. Imagine if you were 3 years old and you pinched the sugar bowl and you put it in your mouth. That's kind of how much sugar you want to add to this. So we're going to mix this a little bit. Remember, we have garlic, mustard, salt, pepper, and sugar and the herbs, right? And then to that, we're going to add our balsamic vinegar. Vinaigrettes are normally, or used to be 4 or 5 to 1. What that means is 1 part of acidity, in this case the vinegar, to 5 parts of oil. But as we've learned that a lot of oil and fat is not good for us, we've sort of, without us realizing it, changed that. So this is a 2 to 1 vinaigrette, which means 2 parts of vinegar to, 1 part of vinegar to 2 parts of oil. So we're going to add our balsamic vinegar, and this is where you kind of want to get a good brand. So and you might not know what a good brand is, but a lot of times, unfortunately, it's based on price. So when you go to the store and you see a gallon of balsamic vinaigrette for $2, you might want to stay away from that one. So you want to get the better stuff, and you can always ask people at the store, people that work at different stores or shops. They tend to like what they do, therefore they tend to want to help you. So I would definitely ask, hey, what do you think? Is this good? Is this bad? And then you taste it. You know, don't buy a gallon, buy a smaller bottle and taste it, because it should have a pungent flavor and it should be really aromatic when you open it up. If it just smells or tastes like regular white vinegar, then that might not be the brand for you. So here, one more time, we have the balsamic, the garlic, the herbs, the salt, the pepper, the sugar, and the mustard. The mustard is going to give us a little bit of that saltiness, brininess, flavor, and also helps us with creating a thicker body to our dressing. And then we have, this is also a time in which you want to use your good olive oil. So this is extra virgin olive oil. In the restaurant and at home now, of course, I put it in squeeze bottles because it helps me. So I'm left-handed, so I'm going to turn it this way. And then we're going to add the oil as I whisk. Remember, we're not making something too thick. It's okay if it's broken, which means you can see the separation between the liquid and the oil. And then we're going to start drizzling this in. So remember, 2 to 1. So kind of get a feel for what you added on the balsamic, and you're going to double it up with the oil. So we're probably almost there. At this point, you can refrigerate this in a jar or in a bottle. You want to shake it up before you use it. But since we're building our salad right away, we're just going to leave it on the counter. And like anything else that you do in the kitchen, you want to taste. So when it comes to vinaigrettes, it's obviously going to be a pungent, strong taste because you're going to dilute it or mix it with greens that are more plain. So I saw somebody one time, I think it was Rachel Ray, and I think this is the second time I've mentioned Rachel Ray, and I'm still waiting for that comment from Rachel. Feel free. I think she tastes her dressings with the lettuce that she's going to eat the salad with. So this one's for you, Rachel. I like arugula. I really like arugula by itself too. No, it's good. I think it can use a little bit more sweetness, so I'm going to add a little bit more sugar. And mix that again. One more taste from the other side of the spoon. Good, yeah. So we're there, and then we're just going to make the salad. We have a bowl here. We have baby arugula. Peppery, delicious. The first time I tasted it, I spit it right out of my mouth. I hated it. It tasted like grass. I was a kid. I didn't know any better. Second time was a little bit better. By the 10th time, I was asking people, where do I buy baby arugula? So that happens with food. Like sometimes you taste something and you're like, what the heck? So that was what arugula was. Now I put arugula on everything. I make pesto with arugula. I put it on sandwiches. I put it on salads. It's just delicious and peppery and cool. And then you think about like iceberg lettuce, and you're like, that tastes like water, which has its place in a burger or something on a Cobb salad where you add blue cheese and bacon. But arugula is great. Don't be afraid of it. Feel free to spit it out the first time, but make sure that you keep trying it like I did. So we're gonna add our arugula in here. I'm making 1 serving of a salad, so we're not making a lot of it. I think my little doggy wants to come out. We're gonna take care of that right now. Arugula in here. We're gonna add some tomatoes. These are the grape tomatoes that we cut up. And we're gonna add some cucumber. I'm using my hands, yes I am. That's okay, it's for me. I wash my hands. And then we're gonna add some salt and some pepper. Even though the dressing has already salt and pepper, I always like adding it because the dressing is seasoned with salt and pepper for the purpose of the dressing. But we're adding all these other elements in there that are not seasoned. That's why we do it. So you kind of want to get your ingredients a little bit wet. You don't want them too wet. And then we're going to toss. And I toss with my hands. And you can toss with tongs too. But your hands are going to be the gentlest part of this process. So you're going to know not to squeeze too much. You're going to know not to bruise the greens or anything else. So that's basically 2/3 of the way we are. So now we're going to get our plate. I'm going to move this cutting board out of the way so you can see things. I have here a white plate, a simple white plate. And then to that plate, we're going to add our ingredients. So make sure you wipe it. You work so hard, and then if you have a plate with fingerprints on them, it's not very attractive. You want your food to be good looking, and we're gonna assemble. So here we go. Persimmons. I like putting them on the bottom in a way that people can see them because they have such a cool color, and we build the salad right on top of that. I don't know if you guys can see this. I think you can. So I'm going to go with 3 or 4 pieces, and as you can see, I'm kind of fanning them out on the plate with the purpose of building my salad right in the middle. So in here, we're going to go with our salad. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but cooking and presentation to me is all about how impressive it looks when it's put in front of you. So with salads and things like that, height is an important thing for me in this case. So I'm not going to press down. I'm going to gently place my arugula, cucumber, and tomato salad right in the middle. And you can see that it's dressed nicely. It's not overly dressed where it's drenching with oil or dressing in my hands. And, if a tomato kind of falls a little bit like that, that's okay. Because you want people to know there's tomatoes in there. I'm going to dry my hands. And I'm going to get an extra paper towel because here comes the cool part. Here is our burrata. So I have 1 serving of burrata here, which is a good amount. And I'm not sticking my hands in the bowl with all the burrata. So I'm just going to do 1. And I'm going to pat it dry. That liquid is the liquid that came with the burrata. And then I'm going to pat dry the burrata, and I'm going to pick a pretty angle. So just like anything in life, you want to take your time, and then, so this is kind of what I like. And then I'm going to get you can do this with a knife, but I'm going to use scissors, and I'm going to cut a little crisscross pattern. 1, 2. If you've ever baked bread, this is kind of what you do before the bread goes in the oven to get the air out while it bakes. So I'm going to spread open, and then you can see this creamy center that I was talking about. I'm going to crown our salad right in the middle without going in there and putting a lot of pressure in there so it doesn't crush our greens, but you want to kind of crown it in the middle. And then we want to do a few things to this awesome dish. We're going to add our balsamic. We're going to drizzle it around the plate. And then we're going to get our good olive oil, not $2 a gallon. And you can put your finger in a bottle or however you want to do it. And you want to make sure you get a good amount of that cheese. And then you want to do a little bit of that on the plate. This is how you charge $17. You don't have to charge your family. And then I have some fresh ground pepper here, and a little bit of salt, and a little bit more salt because this cheese is a fresh cheese, it's low in salt. And then we're going to come with a little pepper on the plate. And that is it. This is our salad, persimmons, burrata cheese, baby arugula, balsamic, and it's simple, it's delicious. If you have some good bread, you can serve it with it. You can eat it. You can eat it like this. But it's cool. I know that we're not too far away from Valentine's Day, and I know that this was not hard to make. So this is a great first course to an awesome date night with your loved one. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to cut it open and eat it in a little bit, but not yet. We're going to take some pictures because that's what we do. And I will see you guys back as I take my first bite of this persimmon burrata salad. See you guys soon. Alright, welcome back. Here's our persimmon salad with the burrata cheese, the baby, arugula, cucumbers, and tomatoes. It looks great. It was simple to make. You can do variations of it. Please share what you do with it because it's such a cool salad and it's all about that cheese. I'm going to cut a little piece of cheese, so I'm going to taste it here with you guys. And I want to definitely get the arugula and the cucumber and the tomato, but definitely get a piece of that persimmon because that's so nice and sweet and pairs so well with the cheese. And here we go. I think I love it because it's so refreshing, and it's like a salad, but not really. Like it's almost like a cheese plate with the sweetness and the crunchiness and the good flavor of the balsamic that we made. It is so good. I don't think anybody will not like this salad. It's really a crowd pleaser, and it's something that impresses you because it's not really a common ingredient, this burrata cheese, but you can see it a lot. You just have to look for it. But a lot of like chain supermarkets have it now. So please make it. Let me know how it goes for you. And I want to thank you again for sticking it out with me. This is A Seat at My Table. I am Chef Luis Sanchez. Spread the word, spread the love, subscribe to the channel, and come and see me again for another awesome recipe next week. Take care, guys.